we actually frowned at people who walked around with masks on. We'd look at them and be like, what the hell? You know?
Like, we ain't cool. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I go, you know, I'm rolling over in what, Lancaster off of 35. You know, I got the little QT there. I got my gloves on. I got my little mask on and everything. You know, and I felt like the uncool kid walking into the school, you know, flood, you know, wearing, you know, your mama bought you parachute pants instead of the new pants they had, you know.
First thing on our mind is survival.
Right.
And whenever survival is your first thought, or the first thing you think about, everything else is secondary. Yeah, it's different, man. And I mean, I'm still a little uncomfortable with it, but you know, due to me having lung disease, I was stricken with lung disease in 2016.
Right.
And you know, I have to wear a mask.
Right.
You know, to us, survival is primary because I mean, let's face it. You know, we've been hunted for 400 plus years, and you know, so we didn't have time to think about what I'm going to invest in, or what's the best way to invest in this, or why should I get this insured? You know, we were trying to survive, trying to figure out where our next meal was coming from, how we're gonna pay the light bill. Yeah, I'm all about the face shield and the face mask and the gloves, man. You know, statistically it's working. I have a false sense of security with it. You know, take it serious. Know that the danger is out there. Know that, you know, when you touch something with those gloves, try not to cross-contaminate.
Hey, dude, why ain't nobody wearing masks? That's what we're trying to say. Do blacks, or young people in general value their lives? I don't want to say blacks. I don't want to make this a black thing, but those are the people that I'm seeing most of, because that's my population.
I think it varies, but it depends on where you at too. Because over in South Dallas, I see a lot of guys, a lot of young women, and a lot of young men wearing their masks.
What?
Yes, I see them over here in South Dallas. When I go into the stores over here, I see them. They got their masks. They couple down. These some young guys. So a lot of youth, teenagers, like in middle school or something, a lot of those guys don't wear masks. But I see a lot of them over here.
You know, about fatherhood. He speaks from experience. He has a passion. So we need to support things like that, because those are some of the conversations that black men are not having about being custodial parents. You know, most people we see, that's my baby daddy. But sometimes the baby daddy is the daddy and the custodial parent, and that puts it in a whole different light. You know, people don't think that men get custody of their kids, but they do. You care to talk about that a little bit?
And also, you know, not only I'm actually trying to educate non-custodial parents, but I'm also trying to motivate fathers and mothers in general. You know, fathers, but my target area is just fathers, period. Because especially African American fathers, we the one that are most disenfranchised within the community, and also kept from opportunity within the community as well, and also in jail, most incarcerated as well. Because when you dealing with African American men, you know, there's a target on their back, period. You know, and so I'm actually trying to change the narrative when it comes down to fatherhood in general.
Hey, you care to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, just like you were saying, you know, the black man has a target on his back. It goes back to what I was saying about the systemic oppression, man. That's just you know, it's one of the characteristics that we are left with because of this oppression. You know, like I said, when survival is primary, everything else is secondary, man. Everything else is secondary.
You're right about that. Everything else is secondary, for real.
Yeah. And I hear a lot of people talk about the downfalls of the black man or the negativities of the black man, but they really don't understand how we got here.
Yeah, the history of it, yes.
That's right. That's right.
And
so we also don't understand how, as black men, we got to understand ourselves, but we also have to understand what slavery and everything else, the Willie Lynch letters, all of this, what it did to our Black women, and where our Black women are now. Like a lot of Black men feel like the Black woman is failing the Black man, because some Black women are saying, we tired of waiting on you. We tired of waiting on y'all to pull yourself up. We got it. But see, I've also found out that that's the trick of the devil too, is to elevate. Now, please don't get me wrong. I don't want to have no women coming on here, because you are welcome to come on here. But I'm not saying anything negative about the hard work that women do when they put themselves through school, sometimes while parenting kids. But I do want to say that there's a system against Black men in general.
I was saying a while ago about our history of it, knowing the history of it, because in general, a lot of people haven't actually psychologically dealt with this when it comes down to the human mindset. Because in due time, things mess with a person's mind, because the brain is the associated organism, and whatever it associates itself with is basically going to convey. And just like you, Ernest, was talking about the women, but if you look back at history, the men back then, the men had foundation. The men were the head of the household. And now, if you see now, mostly the women are the head of the household, and they're acting the dang fool. If you look at the women today, and if you actually just observe them, you can see them like grabbing their crouch part, like they're grabbing the food or whatnot. And you can actually see them at her acting like a dang fool, at her fighting a lot, even shooting and killing. That's what these women are doing, because that's what they mirrored. They mirrored the men growing up. So we as men got to take the initiative to change the mindset of the women, and that's by actually setting examples out here as a man supposed to set these examples. And that's why women act like the way they act. They act just like men. If you actually just sit back and look at the majority of them, not all of them, but the majority.
What you say, Beyonce? What she said, if I was a boy?
We are naturally wild. We are naturally hunters.
Women, y'all agree with that? We're naturally hunters and we naturally wild. Women,
we're naturally warriors. We're naturally warriors. And, you know, in order for us to come into society and exist amongst women, we have to be suppressed of who we really are. We constantly have society, such as churches, schools, laws, telling us to, hey, man, calm down. Hey, stop that. Hey, what are you doing? You know, we just being our natural, wild, hunting, warrior selves.
Right.
And, you know, to have to deal with that, and then to have to deal with the oppression of being Black in America, you know, man, our PTSD is real. You know, so before they came up with the term post-traumatic syndrome, it's just them niggas is crazy.
I was thinking that same thing, because the whole concept that I had was, as you see these guys coming back from the war, right? They just spent 12 or 13 years in the war, and they diagnosed these guys with like disorders, right? And it takes them a minute to overcome that. They had to actually go see what you call those people, psychics.
Psychiatrists.
I mean, not psychics, but
psychologists.
Psychologists. They got to go see those people, and they got to run tests and talk to them a lot, because they're trying to get the mindset back right. So if you actually have
but Black men, we don't see counseling.
Hold on, but if you actually have a group of people that actually did 400 years of slavery, and then you just say, okay, y'all free, but you didn't give them no type of
there was no
psychologically hurt, no help or nothing. So how they go overcome that after 400 years? Because if you put a woman in the room, you kidnap a woman and rape her for like 15, 30 years, and you just let her go, what you think? She gonna be thrown in the head if she ain't psychologically just dealt with it.
Or if you make a man, you take a man and breed him out, and there were cases in which on these plantations that they actually had men who were breeders that they would put in the dark and put pillowcases over the heads or hoods over the heads of the women, so he don't even know who he doing it to.
Yeah, man, we are definitely the products of incest, rape, I mean, drugs, you know, even the story of Coca-Cola. You know, Coca-Cola was a cocaine company.
Yeah.
And they gave it to slaves to make them work harder.
Right.
I don't know what
You know?
I don't know what they were doing in Coca-Cola. I know it was a story back like in the 80s or something. A lady was driving behind a bus and they had a Coca-Cola advertisement. And inside the advertisement was a lady sucking a man's penis. This is in a Coca-Cola advertisement.
What?
If you go check out Coca-Cola's history, you will see this advertisement. A lady actually called the police or something and got it put on blast. So it was a lady sucking a man's penis. You know about it, right? Yeah, so you don't know what they put in this Coca-Cola.
Wait, what did I miss? What did I miss? I didn't see that, man. Where was I?
Like I was saying, man, unfortunately, we come from a world full of ignorance, on both ends, man. And you know what? I think that's a big part of why we are who we are, because we're fairly the newest breed of people in America.